Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of the coffin. You try lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening. You try banging on the lid to unsettle the dirt, and maybe somebody will start digging their way down towards me. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own. You just know where to get that help. In reality, somebody is probably standing there. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to fight an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you're abusing drugs and alcohol that you might lose your life? And if you don't care about your life, you might lose your life to overdosing and take that life away from the people that love and care for you most. Mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, even grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person I'm talking about. Instead, pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take your life back. For your life is gone. Think about this. What does dyslexia people, or what do they feel? Dyslexic people, what do they feel? Anxiety is the most emotional symptom reported by dyslexic adults. Dyslexics become fearful because of their constant frustration and confusion in school. These feelings are exacerbated by the inconsonance of dyslexia. Because they may anticipate failure, entering new situations can become extremely anxiety-provoking. Anxiety causes human beings to avoid whatever frightens them. The dyslexic is no exception. However, many teachers and parents misinterpret this avoidance behavior as laziness. In fact, the dyslexic hesitancy to participate in school activities such as homework is related more to anxiety and confusion than apathy. They feel anger. Many of the emotional problems caused by dyslexia occur out of frustration with school or social situations. Social scientists have frequently observed that frustration produces anger. This can be clearly seen in many dyslexics. The obvious target in dyslexics' anger would be schools and teachers. However, it is also common for the dyslexic to vent his anger on his parents. Mothers are particularly likely to feel dyslexic's wrath. Often, the child sits on his anger during school to the point of being extremely passive. However, once he is in a safe environment like at home, these very powerful feelings erupt and are often directed towards the mother herself. Ironically, it's the child's trust of the mother that allows him to vent his or her anger. However, this becomes very frustrating and confusing to the parent who is desperately trying to help their children. As youngsters reach adolescence, society expects them to become independent. The tension between the expectation of independence and the child's learned dependence causes great internal conflicts. The adolescent dyslexic uses his anger to break away from these people on which he feels so dependent. Because of these factors, it may be difficult for a parent to help their teenage dyslexic child. Instead, peer tutoring or concerned a young adult may be better able to intervene and help the child. They have a self-image issue. The dyslexic self-image appears to be extremely vulnerable to frustration and anxiety. According to Erik Erikson, during the first 5 years of school, every child must resolve the conflicts between the positive self-image and the feelings of inferiority. If children succeed in school, they will develop positive feelings about themselves and believe that they can succeed in life. If children meet failure and frustration, they learn that they are inferior to others, and their effort makes a very little difference. Instead of feeling powerful and productive, they learn that their environment controls them. They feel powerful and incompetent. Researchers have learned that the typical learners succeed. They credit their own effort to their success. When they fail, they tell themselves to try harder. However, when the dyslexic succeeds, he is likely to attribute his success to being lucky. When he fails, he simply sees himself as being stupid. Research also suggests that these feelings are of inferiority developed by the age of 10. After this age, it becomes extremely difficult to help the child develop a positive self-image. This is a powerful argument for early intervention. Depression. Depression is also a frequent complication of dyslexia, I should say. Although most dyslexics are often not depressed, children with this kind of learning disability are at higher risk for intense feelings of sorrow and pain. Perhaps because of their low self-esteem, dyslexics are afraid to turn their anger toward the environment and instead turn it towards themselves. However, depressed children and adolescents often have different symptoms than do depressed adults. The depressed child is unlikely to be lethargic or to talk about feeling sad. Instead, he or she may become more active and misbehave to cover up a painful feeling that they might experience. In the case of a master depression, the child may not seem obviously unhappy. However, both children and adults who are depressed tend to have similar characteristics. They first tend to have negative thoughts about themselves, negative self-images. Then they tend to view the world negatively. They are less likely to enjoy the positive experiences in life. This makes it difficult for them to have fun. And then finally, most depressed youngsters have great trouble imaging anything positive about the future. The depressed dyslexic not only experiences great pain in their present situations or experiences, but also foresee a life-continuing failure with family problems. Like any handicapping condition, dyslexia has a tremendous impact on a child's family. However, because dyslexia is an invisible handicap, these effects are often overlooked by us, the public. Dyslexia affects the family in a variety of different ways. One of the most obvious is the sibling rivalry. Non-dyslexic children often feel jealous of the dyslexic child, who gets the majority of the parent's attention, time, and money. Ironically, the dyslexic child does not want this attention at all. This increases the chances that he or she will act negatively against the achieving children in the family. Specific development, dyslexia runs in the family. This means that one or both of the child's parents may have had similar school issues. When faced with a child who is having school problems, dyslexic parents may react in one of two different ways. They may deny the existence of the dyslexia and believe that the child would just buckle down, he or she would succeed, or the parents may relive their failures and frustration through their child's school experiences. This brings back powerful and terrifying emotions which can interfere with the adult's parenting skills. If you know someone with dyslexia, read this or view my issue over and over again, because there are signs, there are conditions, there are warning signs, and then there are positive signs. And I hope today is the first day of your new life. And I hope to God you use the power of prayer. If you have any questions, call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take your life back.